Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Paul here, and today we are reacting to this video from the channel Addicted to Football. Go check out the channel if you want to see the video that we're going to react to. Link is in the description. This is talking about the Belgium team, and the title is Why Have Belgium Underachieved? Guys, and also the thumbnail says Belgium is overrated. So we're gonna watch this, but I remember my experience with the Belgium team. I'm from Brazil, by the way, if you guys don't know. Bro, Belgium, when they went up against Brazil in 2018, they won 2-1, and Brazil, man, sadly, we we had to take the L. I was really sad with that game. And Fernandinho scored an own goal. That's crazy. Anyways, let's take a look at the fixtures before we go into the video here. This is the performance, the Belgium performance. In 1930, they didn't go past the group stage. 1934 and 38, round of 16. They did not enter the Brazil World Cup in 1950. 1954 was group stage. They did not qualify 1958, 1962, 1966. 1970 group stage. They didn't qualify in the 74 and 78. And then this is the wonder years, I think, of the Belgium team. 82, second group stage. 86, fourth place, and then 90 and 94, round of 16. So this is the best they've been, right? At least fourth place is the best so far. And then 98, group stage, and 2002, round of 16. They didn't qualify for 2006 and 2010. However, this is the golden years. The golden years, and this is what put them on the map. 2014, they went to the quarterfinals. In 2018, they beat Brazil and went to third place. But then in 2022, they underachieved in the group stage. So Belgium was on track to being a very strong team. So what happened? Because so far, up until 2002, nobody really thought of Belgium as like a strong team. But then after the 2014 World Cup, 2018, after they beat Brazil, Belgium became one of the strongest opponents, and a little bit feared from Brazilians who see Belgium. I think especially because the Netherlands is also one of the teams that we don't like to go against in the World Cup. Guys, if you want to request a video, just scan the QR code or go to the link which is in the description of the pinned comment. Let's take a look.
Il a failli faire basculer la rencontre. On regrettera peut-être de ne pas l'avoir vu rentrer plus tôt.
Ow.
On voit son énervement, sa frustration, évidemment.
Bro, if he wasn't a football player, he could be a boxer. Oh.
It has been said that the only source of knowledge is experience. And when it comes to athletes, particularly those that compete in teams, the importance of experience and the many valuable skills and traits that are acquired in the process can ultimately be the key differences between achieving the impossible and losing it all at the very end. The concept of winning in itself seems to be a perfect balance of talent, hard work, experience, and chemistry. And it seems as though teams that significantly lack even one of these ingredients often fail to live up to the sky-high expectations everyone around the world.
If somebody's overrated, I would say Neymar. Neymar is so overrated, especially coming from a country that has so many superstars. Cafu, Kaká, Rivaldo, Bebeto, Romário, you know, the golden Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, bro, Denilson. And then you come with Neymar saying he is like a goat? Nah, come on, bro.
To the sky-high expectations everyone around the world holds them.
Not to mention the older ones, right? Pelé, Garrincha, Rivelino, bro.
Expectations everyone around the world holds them accountable to. And seeing as there's usually only one winner at the end, many teams are then tasked with reviewing their performances, identifying and developing their weaknesses to in turn improve their results. When looking to bounce back, the squads that have acquired valuable knowledge through the many triumphant experiences of their own or that of their predecessors usually have the mental strength, passion, and togetherness to pull together and once again reach the top. However, for those that don't have access to the many psychological benefits that come from the knowledge of victory through celebratory experiences in the past, the road to recovery from a rather disappointing and underachieving spell is one that usually results in a dwindling belief.
I remember this player. He is so strong.
And an eventual return to mediocrity. When it comes to Belgium and their incredibly unique journey as an international side, their status as a European heavyweight has swung back and forth from intermediate to elite. The Belgians have been considered one of the best teams in terms of talent to represent Europe since the early 2010s. However, whilst the question for the last decade has been about when the Red Devils will make the most of their golden generation to finally win a major international trophy, the story of the 2022 FIFA World Cup has been about how Belgium's tournament turned into perhaps the most toxic and chaotic camp of all who competed. Belgium were the first mainland European country to play association football, which occurred as early as 1863.
Association football? That's also known as soccer.
3. The Red Devils took part in the first 3 World Cups ever. However, they would lose all 4 of their games, struggling to compete against the South American and Central European teams where football was enjoying a boom in popularity. Out of the 8 major tournaments that occurred between 1950 and 1968, Belgium would only qualify for 1, which was the 1958 World Cup.
Wow.
It was said that even back then, the Belgians were an above-average side, appropriately nicknamed the world champion of friendlies, due to the sharp contrast between their performances in friendlies as opposed to competitive games. Although when someone mentions the Belgian Golden Age, everyone's mind immediately shifts to the 2010s, it's not the Red Devils' first experience as a highly competitive team. Between the late 70s and early 2000s, Belgium suddenly became a perennial name amongst European teams that were often locks to make both the Euro and World Cups on a consistent basis.
I like this guy's vocabulary. Perennial. That's nice. Perennial means long-lasting.
They would top the group of death in Euro 1980 and make it to the knockout stages of the 1982 World Cup, taking it a step further in 1986 as they made a Cinderella run all the way to the semifinals, eventually losing to Maradona's Argentina. In the many competitions that would follow, Belgium would commonly hold their own in their groups, before usually being bounced out in the first or second round of the knockout stages. And with the old guard seemingly all but gone by 2003, the Red Devils would suffer one of the darkest decades in their entire history, once again failing to make a single tournament between Euro 2004 that would stretch all the way until their eventual qualification for the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil.
Wait, I remember when... Wait a second. Let me check my notes here. By notes, I mean Wikipedia. But let me check over here. Belgium had gone against Brazil earlier. When was it? I remember a Belgium versus Brazil match where there were 5 people following De Nilsson. Or am I mistaken? I believe that was during the World Cup. And indeed, it was 2002. I remember. 5 red shirts following De Nilsson when he took the ball. That was one of the historical moments. They're all going against one man. And Brazil won 2-0 in that situation there.
Despite their surplus in talent, Belgium went into the 2014 tournament as one of the most underrated teams. Many were quick to praise the talent and potential of the growing European giant, however also pointed to their lack of experience in international tournaments, as well as their up and down status in Europe throughout the extent of their history, as a reason to doubt the Belgians' ability to succeed. And these reservations were proved correct when the Belgians made it out of their group, only to struggle to eliminate the USA in extra time of the first knockout round, before being knocked out once again by eventual finalists Argentina, but this time in the quarterfinals. Between Euro 2016 and Euro 2020, Belgium were by many people's indication a real catalyst to win one of the next 3 tournaments.
Wow.
With now a set core of elite players such as Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard,
De Bruyne,
Romelu Lukaku, and Thibaut Courtois, many believe
Lukaku, he still plays up to today. Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku and Thibaut Courtois, many believe the Belgians had all the talent they needed to conquer Europe, if not the entire world. However, perhaps the pressures and stress that come from the expectations that are placed on the shoulders of the elite teams were too heavy for the Belgian players, as against everyone's expectations, they would fall in all 3 tournaments without making it to a single final. For Belgium, the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia will be remembered as perhaps their greatest ever showing in any international tournament they've competed in, dominating in the group stage before almost conforming to old habits when they almost blew it against Japan in the round of 16.
Wow, Japan.
They would go on to impress immensely against Brazil.
Japan is also one of those countries that they're growing, they're strong.
16. They would go on to impress immensely against Brazil, giving hope to the idea
Come
that
on,
they truly could
Fernandinho.
go all the way, before once again disappointing against France, finishing third in a World Cup that, despite their bronze medal, would ultimately feel like a punch in the gut, as they would fall short in perhaps their greatest ever chance at winning silverware. For many around the world, by the time 2022 rolled around, there was a feeling that the Belgian national team was on a steady state of decline, with their main protagonists reaching the veteran stage of their careers and their tactics feeling rather outdated, as well as also dealing with the lack of belief within the squad that felt that they had fumbled their best opportunity to win a trophy 4 years prior, causing the spirit and identity of the team to grow rotten. As mentioned previously, Belgium are not similar to the other European elites. Although their history within the great game runs very deep, they have been a side that have notoriously gone through waves of both decent success and complete darkness. Hovering between being a dark horse underdog and a European giant have effectively created an identity crisis for the Red Devils, with players seemingly unsure how to maneuver through their ever-changing expectations. This, as well as their inability to fall back on the history of a successful and triumphant past, one that could act as inspiration for those of today to band together and channel the championship spirit and dedication needed to overcome a tough tournament or two and bounce back into action, makes it highly unlikely that the Belgians will be able to recapture their form of 2018. In fact, more often than not, it leads to issues.
Do you agree with that? Do you think the best is past them? Do you think the golden age is over for Belgium? Let me know in the comments, guys. Man, it's sad to see, you know, these type of things where they're so close. Because I've said this before. My thoughts are, if a team beats your team, then I support that team, because then I can say, look, we only lost to the winners. Everyone else lost. So, you know, it makes me feel better. So when Belgium won against Brazil and eliminated us from the 2018 World Cup, I actually wanted Belgium to go and win, because I could say, see, we only lost to the best. We only lost to the winners. They had a great team. They beat everyone in the competition, and we were one of them. You know, it makes me feel better when we only lose to the best. But now, if they don't win the whole competition, it means that we lost to them, like Croatia, for example. When Croatia beat Brazil, in the last World Cup, I thought, let's support Croatia. I want Croatia to win now. But then Croatia lost to Argentina, which means Brazil would have lost to Argentina as well, right? So now it's not only Croatia, it's also Croatia and Argentina. And if Argentina had lost, it would be Croatia, Argentina, and France who could have beaten Brazil. And that's how my train of thought goes. Let me know if you agree with that, or if that makes sense to you.
Able to recapture their form of 2018. In fact, more often than not, it leads to issues internally, where in which players begin to butt heads, pointing the finger at each other for the team's failures, the manager lacking belief and no longer having a grip on the dressing room, and most importantly, it leads to disoriented, subpar performances on the pitch, which on a team that has often fell in deep holes when down, only damages the confidence and psyche of players who don't know any better. The Belgians were a mess from the very beginning, criticizing each other publicly after each group game, in turn creating a divide in the team that caused them to severely underachieve in 2022.
Is that
being
Thierry
eliminated
Henry?
in the group for only the second time in their last 8 World Cup appearances, effectively signifying the end of a golden era that, in the 10 years it existed, was the subject of an incredible up and down journey. In essence, a microcosm of their entire history as an international side. If the chronicles of the past are any sort of indicator of the future, then Belgium will be in grave danger of once again becoming the champion of friendlies, known more as a team that has spurts of promise, but due to a lack of direction, foundation, and experience, will never be able to develop the traits it takes to conquer at the biggest stage. Altogether, the Red Devils have had one of the most unique international journeys in the history of the great game. And as the end of another significant era is surely upon them, questions will be asked about their ability to bounce back, as when they've shown signs of decline in the past, it's usually followed by a major dip in form and an extensive inability to qualify for incoming tournaments. Similar to the end of their first golden generation in 2002, many of the key players within the Belgian squad have decided to end their international journeys, seemingly abandoning ship during a time of severe crisis, adding to a laundry list of issues that continue to pile on top of one another for the Red Devils. As time moves on and the dawn of a new age inevitably arrives, there will be many that will pay close attention to the reaction of the Belgians, and questions will remain whether they will succumb to the grips of their history or use the opportunity of failure to bounce back and make the most of what's to come.
Well, if you think about the fact that history repeats it, I've been there. I've been to this location. It's a beautiful place, and they have like the flowers over there. Anyways, this is from the channel Addicted to Football, so go check it out. Now, if you look at history, we'll go back to the graph that we have here. Looking back in history, you can see that they were very underwhelming over here, right? Very underwhelming. And then they came and had kind of like a golden age in the 80s. And then they fell off again. And then they had a better golden age. So if you look at history and identify that history repeats itself, right? I think they might fall off now, but the next golden age will be bigger than this one, because they kind of like take a step back, reevaluate, analyze, and then they come back stronger. That's what I understood from the history of the Belgium team. They always came back stronger, and probably the next time we see them, they will be stronger. Maybe not the next World Cup, maybe not, maybe in 10 years time, I suppose. Let me know your thoughts, guys. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Belgium national team, their performance during the World Cup, and yeah, you think they can be a powerhouse, one of the winners of the World Cup? I know it's everyone's dream. The Netherlands haven't won any World Cup yet, and they have had a long history. Oh man, that would be, bro, if Belgium wins the World Cup before the Netherlands, oh man, the Dutch will be fuming, I would suppose. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to react to any other video. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more, the link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game.